Have you ever walked into a place and immediately felt like you didn't belong? Maybe the atmosphere was heavy, the conversation felt forced, or the people there made you feel like an afterthought instead of a valued guest. As we grow older, we begin to understand that not every place is meant for us, and not every home is a sanctuary for our well-being. Today, we'll be discussing homes that you should avoid visiting in your later years, places that rob you of joy, disturb your peace, and leave you questioning your worth. Stay with me until the end, because safeguarding your energy is just as essential as taking care of your health. By the time we finish, you'll have a clearer perspective on how to step away without guilt and fully embrace the power to decide where and with whom you spend your time. If you find this content valuable, please consider liking this video. Your support allows me to continue sharing insights on growing older with wisdom and dignity. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And if you have thoughts to share, drop a comment below. Whether you love the video or think it could be improved, I'd love to hear from you. Now, let's get started. There are few things more disappointing than entering a home where your presence feels more like an inconvenience than a pleasure. It's a subtle yet undeniable sensation. Perhaps it's the way you receive a half-hearted greeting at the door, the absence of genuine warmth in their eyes, or how the conversation feels like an obligation rather than a true exchange. You might notice that they glance at the clock more than they engage with you, fail to ask how you've been, or seem distracted as if anticipating your departure rather than cherishing the time spent together. As we age, we must become selective about where we invest our time and energy. Our presence should never be treated as a mere formality, nor should we feel like an afterthought in the homes of others. Relationships, whether familial, platonic, or social, should be rooted in appreciation and respect, not duty or habit. Instead of frequenting spaces where you feel unappreciated, seek out places where you are genuinely welcomed, where conversations are filled with interest, and where your company is celebrated rather than merely endured. Life is far too short to spend time in places where you are just tolerated. Some households seem to operate under constant conflict, as if peace is a foreign concept to them. These homes are filled with persistent tension, ongoing disputes, and an overwhelming air of negativity. Arguments replace pleasant conversations, complaints overshadow gratitude, and no matter how good a situation might be, negativity always finds a way to dominate. Spending time in such an environment can leave you feeling emotionally drained, mentally exhausted, and weighed down by problems that aren't yours to bear. These are the homes where trivial disagreements escalate into full-blown fights, where passive-aggressive remarks masquerade as conversation, and where gossip thrives. Instead of offering warmth and comfort, these spaces become battlegrounds, with stress and hostility permeating the air. As you get older, prioritizing your peace of mind should be non-negotiable. Time is too valuable to waste in toxic environments filled with bitterness and unnecessary strife. Even brief exposure to such negativity can have lasting effects on your emotional well-being. Instead, choose to spend your time in spaces built on love, kindness, and mutual respect. You deserve to be in places where laughter is abundant, where understanding is a given, and where you can truly relax without carrying the burden of someone else's chaos. There are also homes where you are welcome, but only when it serves the interests of those who live there. These are the places where your presence is tolerated, not out of love or appreciation, but because they need something from you. Perhaps they invite you over when they need someone to watch their children, help with chores, or lend financial support. But when the situation is reversed, when you need a listening ear, a kind gesture, or simple companionship, they are suddenly unavailable, This kind of transactional relationship is exhausting. It drains you emotionally, leaving you feeling used rather than valued. Genuine relationships should never be based on convenience alone. True connection comes from mutual care and respect, not from one person always being the giver while the other takes without reciprocation. If you notice that certain people only reach out when they need something, it's a sign that your presence is not truly valued. In your later years, be mindful of where you invest your emotional energy. Surround yourself with people who appreciate you for who you are, not just for what you can provide. Seek out friendships and relationships that bring you joy, support, and a sense of belonging rather than those that leave you feeling depleted. Ultimately, the homes we choose to visit and the people we choose to spend time with play a significant role in shaping our emotional and mental well-being. As we navigate life, it becomes increasingly clear that not every space deserves our presence, and not every relationship is worth maintaining. You have the right to protect your energy, prioritize your happiness, and walk away from environments that no longer serve you. So, if you ever find yourself stepping out of a home feeling drained, unappreciated, or emotionally unsettled, take it as a lesson. Choose to invest your time in places that uplift and nurture you. Surround yourself with people who cherish your presence, engage with you sincerely, and offer you the warmth and respect you deserve. At this stage in life, your happiness and peace of mind should be at the forefront of your decisions. Be selective about where you go, who you allow into your personal space, and how you spend your precious time. Because in the end, the quality of your experiences will always matter more than the quantity of places you visit or the number of people you meet. There are relationships in life that appear warm and close, yet underneath the surface, they are completely one-sided. You give, they take. You make the effort, they disappear when it's your turn to receive. If someone only remembers you when they need a favor, but never checks in, asks how you are, or offers support in return, it is a clear indication that they see you as a convenience rather than a valued part of their life. Your kindness, your time, and your energy are precious. Being generous is a wonderful trait, but it should never come at the cost of being used or feeling unappreciated. True relationships, whether with family, friends, or acquaintances, should be rooted in mutual respect and care. They should not be based solely on utility, but rather should be filled with genuine concern, love, and reciprocity. Take a moment to reflect. Are you truly appreciated, or are you simply being taken for granted? If you find that you are only acknowledged when there's something to be done, it might be time to draw clear boundaries. You deserve to be in spaces where your presence is valued for who you are, not just for what you provide. If you're still with me, finding these insights helpful, leave a comment below to let me know you're here. Your presence matters, and so should the spaces you choose to be in. Have you ever walked into a house and immediately felt like an outsider? Maybe you noticed the subtle shift in someone's expression when they opened the door, their smile not quite reaching their eyes. Perhaps they sighed before inviting you in, their posture stiff, their responses short and distracted. Their eyes flickered toward the clock, a silent signal that they have more pressing matters. A home should be a place of warmth, a space where your presence is genuinely welcomed and appreciated, not merely tolerated. Hospitality is not just about offering a seat. It is about making someone feel at ease, seen, and respected. True warmth cannot be faked for long. If you constantly feel like an imposition, if the atmosphere feels heavy with unspoken impatience, perhaps it's time to ask yourself why you keep showing up. You should never have to beg for someone's time or affection. Your presence should never feel like an inconvenience. Self-respect means recognizing when it is time to step away. Life is too precious to spend it chasing people who make you feel unwelcome. Choose to be in spaces where you are not just received, but embraced. Respect is not a luxury. It is a fundamental necessity, particularly as we age and gather a wealth of wisdom and experience. A home should be a sanctuary, a place of mutual regard and understanding. Unfortunately, not all homes provide this sense of belonging. Some are filled with people who dismiss, belittle, or ignore the elderly, treating them as an afterthought instead of valued members of the family. Disrespect can take many forms. Perhaps it's the way someone interrupts you mid-sentence, disregarding your words as though they hold no weight. Maybe it's the way your thoughts, stories, and advice are brushed aside as outdated or unimportant. It might be the impatient sighs when you take an extra moment to express yourself, or the eye rolls that make you feel more like a burden than a source of wisdom. In some cases, the disrespect is outright, sharp words, condescending tones, or even being excluded from significant conversations and decisions. No one deserves to be in an environment where they are constantly belittled, undervalued, or made to feel as though they are a nuisance. If you find yourself in a place where you are consistently disrespected, whether it is a friend's house, a relative's home, or even your own family, don't hesitate to walk away. Your presence should never be taken for granted. Seek out those who appreciate your experiences, who listen with patience, and who treat you with the dignity you deserve. A home should be a refuge, a space where you feel safe, heard, and cherished. Never accept anything less. There are some places where the moment you step in, an unsettling weight settles over you. Maybe it's the energy in the air, the underlying tension, or the silent hostility lingering beneath the surface. These are the homes that don't nurture your soul, but instead drain your spirit, leaving you feeling emotionally exhausted, anxious, or even saddened by the time you leave. Your mental health is just as important as your physical well-being. Just as you would not willingly expose yourself to toxic substances, you should not force yourself into environments that deplete your emotional reserves. If visiting a particular home consistently leaves you feeling stressed, downhearted, or uneasy, take that as a sign. The impact of negative environments is profound. They can shape your mood, affect your self-esteem, and disturb your sense of peace. A toxic home does not always reveal itself through overt conflict. Sometimes it is the quiet but constant stream of passive-aggressive remarks, the veiled criticisms, or the feeling of always having to tread lightly to avoid triggering an argument. It could be the undercurrent of resentment, the ever-present negativity, or the subtle exclusion that makes you question your place in that space. No one should feel like they are walking on eggshells in a place that is supposed to offer comfort and security. If being in a particular home feels more like an endurance test than a welcoming embrace, it may be time to reconsider your presence there. You are not obligated to remain in environments that erode your peace of mind. Prioritize space that uplift, support, and nurture you. Life is too short to spend time in places that bring more harm than happiness. Every individual deserves to be in spaces where they are valued, respected, and truly welcomed. If you find yourself constantly feeling like an outsider, an afterthought, or simply a resource to be used, it is time to set boundaries and choose environments that honor your worth. The quality of your surroundings deeply impacts your emotional well-being. Take the time to reflect on where you invest your time and energy. Surround yourself with those who uplift you, who make you feel seen, and who cherish your presence, not just when it is convenient for them, but because they truly appreciate you. Your happiness, peace, and dignity are worth more than any forced obligation. If this message resonates with you, I encourage you to pause and reflect on the spaces and relationships in your life. You deserve to be in places where you feel safe, loved, and valued. Never settle for anything less. A space that overwhelms you with tension and unease can be just as suffocating as harsh words spoken aloud. Even when silence prevails, the atmosphere itself speaks volumes. Pay close attention to how you feel when you enter a space and how you feel when you leave. If you consistently walk away feeling emotionally drained or anxious, it may be time to question whether that environment truly serves your well-being. Your peace of mind and emotional health should never be sacrificed for the sake of familiarity. Choose spaces that uplift you, that nourish your spirit, rather than deplete it. The places you spend your time should make you feel secure, valued, and at ease. Your home, above all, should be a refuge, a sanctuary that provides warmth and comfort, rather than being a source of stress and emotional strain. Recognizing when a space is toxic and giving yourself permission to walk away is an act of self-care. You deserve to invest your time and energy in places that allow you to breathe freely, feel safe, and embrace your true self. As we progress through life, we undergo change. Each passing year brings new perspectives, priorities, and values. In our younger years, excitement may have come from the thrill of social events, the rush of a fast-paced lifestyle, or the pursuit of surface-level achievements. But with time, our desires evolve. We begin to seek deeper connections, moments of reflection, and a sense of inner peace that can only be found through experience and growth. True wisdom emerges from a life well lived, from lessons gathered through both joy and sorrow. Our conversations shift. We no longer crave empty chatter, but instead long for discussions that enrich our understanding and nurture our souls. Yet, not everyone embarks on this same journey of personal growth. Some remain stagnant, trapped in repetitive cycles, unwilling to embrace change. They may continue engaging in habits and patterns that no longer serve them, resisting the opportunity for self-evolution. When you find yourself in an environment where those around you refuse to grow, it can feel like an uphill battle to maintain your own sense of purpose. If a home or a space no longer aligns with your development, stepping away is not an act of abandonment. It is an act of self-preservation. Choosing to distance yourself from places that no longer reflect your aspirations is one of the most empowering decisions you can make. This includes not only physical spaces, but also the people who inhabit them. If the presence of certain individuals leaves you feeling misunderstood, frustrated, or depleted, it may be time to reevaluate your place in that environment. A home should be a place where you feel inspired, encouraged, and supported in your journey of becoming the best version of yourself. If that is no longer the case, it is a sign that change is necessary. One of life's profound realizations is that not every place is meant for us, not every relationship is worth maintaining, and not every home will continue to offer the same warmth it once did. Spaces that once felt inviting and promising may begin to feel restrictive and stifling. What once provided comfort may now feel like a trap preventing growth. With age comes the understanding that our time, peace, and happiness are invaluable. These treasures should not be squandered on outdated expectations, unfulfilling social obligations, or relationships that drain us. Prioritizing personal growth means making conscious choices about where we invest our energy. We become unwilling to sacrifice our well-being for the sake of maintaining appearances or preserving the comfort of others. Learning to let go is one of the most liberating actions we can take. But releasing what no longer serves us does not have to come from a place of bitterness or resentment. Instead, we can choose to move forward with understanding and even gratitude, knowing that by making space in our lives, we create room for something greater. Letting go is not about abandoning others, it is about choosing environments that align with our highest good, places that encourage our growth rather than hinder it. The relationships and spaces that remain in our lives should be the ones that uplift us, that challenge us constructively, and that celebrate our evolution. As we continue to transform, it is essential to surround ourselves with people and places that reflect the future we aspire to create for ourselves. In the end, choosing where we spend our time is not just about physical surroundings. It is about emotional and spiritual alignment. It is about being in places where we feel valued, heard, and supported. These spaces nurture us, helping us become the individuals we are meant to be. They form the foundation for a life of peace, fulfillment, and deep contentment. If you are still watching this video and resonating with these ideas, let me know by commenting below. Your time is valuable, and I appreciate you spending it here with me. Time is our most precious asset. Every second spent in negativity, worry, or regret is a second that will never return. The ticking clock reminds us that each passing moment is a part of our life slipping away, never to be reclaimed. Every hour spent in an environment that drains your energy, whether it is among people who do not respect you or in situations that no longer align with your purpose, is an hour stolen from your happiness. Unlike money, time cannot be earned back. As we grow older, we come to understand the real cost of allowing time to slip away in places that do not serve us. This realization compels us to be intentional about where and with whom we spend our time. When we choose to invest in environments that nurture our growth, we reclaim our power over our own lives. Surrounding ourselves with uplifting spaces and meaningful relationships is the key to living fully and with purpose. At this stage in life, your time is invaluable. The years ahead are limited, and every single moment becomes more meaningful. You can no longer afford to spend your precious time on things that don't bring you peace, growth, or happiness. What you invest your energy into now will shape the rest of your journey. Make choices that align with your inner well-being and let go of what no longer serves you. Where you go, who you surround yourself with, and what you choose to leave behind will define the quality of your remaining years. You are not obligated to hold on to connections that drain your spirit or relationships that no longer nourish your soul. It is not your responsibility to maintain ties that only bring stress or negativity. You deserve a life filled with joy, tranquility, and purpose. Let go of anything that weighs you down, for your time is far too valuable to be spent on people or situations that no longer align with your vision for happiness. Choosing peace does not mean abandoning kindness. It means respecting yourself enough to walk away from what no longer feels right. Some relationships and commitments serve their purpose, but clinging to them out of guilt or obligation does not serve your well-being. Walking away is not an act of cruelty. It is an act of self-love. Often we carry guilt, feeling that we must maintain relationships or uphold traditions simply because we have done so in the past. But true strength lies in recognizing when something no longer benefits your peace and having the courage to step away. Protecting your heart and mind is not selfish. It is necessary. You have already given so much: your love, your time, your energy. If these efforts are not met with respect and care, it is time to reclaim your space. You do not need to explain or justify your choices. You are not bound by societal expectations that do not bring you joy. Prioritizing yourself is not an act of selfishness. It is a declaration of self-respect. Free yourself from the burden of negativity and embrace a life where your happiness is the focus. You deserve peace, and you have every right to seek it. True joy is not found in forced interactions or superficial connections. It is not about fulfilling obligations that leave you empty or maintaining relationships because they once meant something. Happiness thrives in genuine bonds with people who truly see you, appreciate you, and respect your presence. These are the individuals who bring warmth to your heart, who uplift you rather than deplete you. Release the outdated belief that you must keep everyone in your life. The past does not dictate your present. If certain relationships no longer contribute to your well-being, it is okay to let them go. You do not need to carry the weight of expectations that no longer fit who you are becoming. Instead, cherish the few who bring you peace, who make you feel valued and heard. A life filled with a handful of meaningful relationships is far richer than one crowded with shallow connections. It is not about the quantity of relationships, but the quality of the love and respect shared. The ones who truly matter will remain in your heart, adding depth to your experiences and joy to your life. Surround yourself with people who make you feel alive, who celebrate you, and who appreciate you for who you are. As time moves forward, these are the relationships that will sustain your spirit and bring genuine fulfillment. As you age, you will realize that not every door needs to remain open. Not every invitation must be accepted. Not every call needs to be returned. The beauty of growing older is the wisdom to understand that your energy is precious and your presence is valuable. The greatest gift of this stage in life is the freedom to choose where your time is spent, who you welcome into your space, and what experiences you allow into your heart. Do not let guilt dictate your decisions. Do not allow fear or societal pressure to shape your choices. You have the power to decide what deserves your attention, and you have earned the right to choose peace, contentment, and happiness on your terms. Live life on your own accord, not by the expectations of others. Choose peace over chaos, joy over obligation, stillness over unnecessary noise. A life lived with intention and authenticity is a life well lived. Do what makes your heart feel light. Engage with people who make your soul feel at home, and seek experiences that bring genuine joy. Not because the world expects it, but because you deserve it. Your time is too valuable to be spent anywhere that does not nurture your spirit. When all is said and done, it is not the obligations, expectations, or burdens that will matter. It is the moments of real connection, the experiences that made you feel alive, and the love that surrounded you. Live for the things that bring you peace. Invest in relationships that make you feel valued. Choose the paths that honor your heart and soul. As we move through life, we realize the importance of protecting our peace, surrounding ourselves with positivity, and letting go of what no longer aligns with our well-being. Not every place is meant for us, and not every invitation deserves our acceptance. The greatest freedom in aging is the ability to decide where to invest our time, energy, and presence. What lesson resonated with you the most from this video? Share one takeaway that you will apply in your own life in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts and experiences. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.